Hello, this is iMind. Welcome to my video. So we've got a new video that's going to be requested by the forum. Let's find it. There we go. Just mentioned the forums by Gorgoth about the new feats from Tasha's Cauldron of everything, the Fey-Touched and Shadow-Touched. The nifty feats, I love them. There's a bit of an issue when it comes to the character sheet. So basically, they work both the same, more or less. You increase your intelligence, wisdom, or charisma by 1, and you learn one spell that they give you for free. That's usually of 2nd level. In the case of Shadow Touch, it's invisibility. In the case of Fey-Touched, it's Misty Step. And then in either case, you can choose one spell level of your choice from either Divination or Enchantment, if it's Fey-Touched, or from Illusion or Necromancy, if it's Shadow-Touched. But they can be from any school of magic. And you can cast them once per day each, and you can also cast them using any spell slots you may have. That's the latter part that's a bit of a trouble when it comes to the character sheet, because it doesn't. The feat system doesn't have a way to allow spells or that it grants to use spell slots. So if I were to, I've already done before, but I haven't chosen the ASI yet. So if I go in, I do apologize. I seem to have a bit of sniffles, so I do apologize. So we go to the choose feat. For the example, I'm going to choose Fey-Touched. And because my character is a sorcerer, I'm going to use Charisma. Cool. Now, in the example in the forums, they were mentioning about Dissonant Whispers, I think there was. Yeah, Dissonant Whispers. So we'll choose that. That's a good example because Dissonant Whispers scales. Just good to show. So if you choose that and then go to the sheet. So you should now see that we have Dissonant Whispers and we have Misty Step. But as you can note, Dissonant Whispers isn't showing a scale here. All we see is the use, which is the once per day use. And it doesn't show the use of the spell slot. You can't cast them that way. And also, Dissonant Whispers increases its damage for each spell slot above first. If you would, excuse me, I'm very sorry. If you were to go to our 2nd level spell slots, you should see that we can't upscale it like we can with Champers. Is it not too bad if you have upscaling turned off in your preferences? This wasn't going to matter. You can just click off your spell slots manually. It does the same thing. But there is, if you want to have it display correctly on the sheet, so you can click a cast button and have it automatically take off the spell slot and roll the correct damage dice for that level. We will need to do a bit of homebrew. Because the only way you can get that to work would be to edit the subclass that you have chosen for your character. In my case, I'm a wild magic sorcerer in this example. You have to edit the subclass and actually add it in, like as a hidden feature. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do. I have sort of done editing a subclass before in a previous video, and that should be linked to somewhere either in the top right or in the description. But in any case, so if we a long rest because we're going to change stuff in here. So because we are a wild magic sorcerer, I'm going to be editing a great copy of the wild magic subclass. Let's go. So go to collections and under the homebrew list. My brain is not working properly. I think I'm getting sick. I do apologize. We choose create subclass. We're going to choose to open in a new tab. It's just easier. We're going to do this for a sorcerer. And we are choosing Wild magic. Great. So what we are going to do is we are going to change the end name just so that we have the asterisk there, because when you're showing your list of subclasses to choose from, the asterisk will tell you that it is a homebrew. Just a little reminder, you can also, of course, use whatever you prefer to denote that, but I prefer to use a little asterisk. Don't need to bother with the short or long description. This is not going to get published. It's not going to show in lists. It's just these boxes don't show on your character sheet. There's no point in putting anything in them. Don't need to change anything there, so we can just save changes first. We have changed the name and want to make sure that sticks. And then we can scroll down to class features. Now, this is where we're going to add a feature to essentially grant us the spells in a way that we can use with spell slots. So we can add class feature. We'll see here. So in this case, it's going to be a spell. Shouldn't be necessary to put this in here. So rather than leave it blank, I will just put in. Yeah, that's just all we need. The idea is that this is going to be a hidden feature, so it's not going to show the character sheet as a description box or anything. I'm hoping that's how it works. I haven't actually used the hide features yet. So anyway, we're going to put this as the 4. We'll put this as at the bottom because it shouldn't be options. Doesn't have options. Hiding sheet, hiding builder. This says enable to hide the feature from being shown in the character builder. And it should do because once you've selected you select the feat from the ASI, you shouldn't have to select it separately here. You would of course have to edit it if you were going to change the feats, but you're not supposed to be able to do that once you selected them. They're not like normal sorcerer spells. The hide sheet, so that should be hidden off the character sheet, so only the effect remains. The feature type is going to be granted. Additional and replacements are designed to be things like optional features for Tashas, if you wanted to create them. This is not, this is just going to be automatically applied to the sheet, so we choose granted. Obviously, we don't use anything there because we haven't choose replacement. Create class feature. So, what we should do here, go into spells. So, we are adding. Now, it's important to note that when you choose this, it's each time you choose to add a spell, we're only adding one spell. So, even if you were to select multiple spells of this, that would just give them the choice between those spells, which we're not doing in this case. So, in this case, we're going to start with Misty Step 1. You can pretty much ignore everything else. Consume spell slot here will be yes. Counts as no spell is going to be no. This means because the sorcerer is a known spell class, which means the amount of spells that you have is based off of known spells. If we were to select this as yes, it would automatically deduct from our main maximum, which you don't want it to do because it's in addition. So we choose no. That way it doesn't count as a known spell, but still on our spell slots and our spell on our sheet. Don't bother with always prepared because they don't spell. Oh my god, my my brain is failing me. Don't choose always prepared because they are not a prepared class. Don't need to bother with character level because you already chose that this is going to start at level 4 for this feature. So then we'll get it to level 4, which is kind of also unnecessary because we were already at level 4 by this point. Everything else can be left as it is, so based off the spell default and your spell casting default, which is what we don't want. Just save. That spell is now added, and now we want to add Distant Whispers. Okay, there we go. Let's use spell slot. Yes. Cancel no. No. Leave this blank. Excuse me again. I don't seem to be very well today. I'm very sorry. That should be it. That's essentially all we needed to do. We save changes. Always have to click the orange button just before. And if we then go to why hasn't that saved the every time I do a video, okay, for some reason that's not saved my hang on a sec. Why is it not showing? Okay. They changed it so it's not going to allows asterisk. I don't know why this is not saving. There's always going to be some sort of a problem. This part? I think it's this because should now work. There we go. That's what it was. Yeah. Even though the boxes aren't displayed anywhere on the sheet and we don't need them, they are. That's a weird place to put it. Just display order. That's weird. But anyway, one final check. If we go back to our character, choose to go to builder. You need to make sure that homebrew is turned on. So when it loads, there we go. Go to homebrew content. Make sure that's enabled and on red. In our class, we can then choose the source Cauldron, which is there. So if we, you see, it doesn't actually show up the note box for the feature that we added. It should be that we can go to our character. Just to make sure whether it actually did hide. So it's not actually showing on here. Hopefully, if we go to our spells, it will show correctly. So now you have the double. So we have the one that's the once per day use, and we have the one that casts and uses spell slot. And if we were to, we can do the same with our Misty Steps. But we also have our Distant Whispers, which are now upcastable. So we can, that's a bit weird. So we can now do the automatic roll through the upcast. That's how you do it. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video.